So my name is Kiki Theo, and I'm Greek, and I'm living in Cape Town, and I give workshops on the alchemy of money. And the way it all started was many years ago, in fact nearly 20 years ago now. I sat at a Buddhist retreat center, and I decided to set some goals, financial goals, and when I'd achieved them, I would go forth and teach about money and spread the light, because it's always been my interest my whole life to basically raise consciousness on the planet, and this has been the case from a very young age. So what I did is I sat down and I made a list of goals. I wanted a fully paid for house, everything fully paid for in terms of other possessions. I wanted a Mercedes Sports, I wanted a baby grand piano, I wanted a whole lot of things. And at that stage in my life I was living in a bachelor apartment and I was driving a Beetle. And so part of the list was new bedside lamps and duvet covers. Now I didn't sit and wonder how I was going to get these things, because at that time I was working as a consultant on straight commission, and if I had ever sat to wonder how to get them, I probably wouldn't have. But I carried on in my life, and it took me 10 years to achieve these goals and to come to the point of selling my business, achieving, I also wanted $1 million in currency, achieve all those goals plus more, and come to Cape Town and start on this present path of teaching about money, teaching about the underlying principles of money making, because of course in my line of work I was in portfolio management, so I had a great opportunity to mix with very, very wealthy people. Some of the wealthiest people in the country, I managed their shares on the stock market, so, or my company did. So I've had an opportunity to observe both them as well as myself, my own journey. Because this was my intention to write books and teach about money, I've had an opportunity to observe and to record what is it that makes money making possible. It's not just budgeting, it's not making plans, it's not making business plans, it's not strategizing that differentiates, it's not education, it's not opportunity that differentiates those people who make a lot of money from those who don't. So that's kind of my background, and my whole point of departure is that there are no limits. And my point of departure is also a belief in magic. And this is a belief that was given to me really, I think, by my father, or left with me, because all young children believe in everything and anything. And so I grew up very much with the idea that anything was possible. And I would say that as far as manifestation is concerned, as far as money making is concerned, as far as my own journey is concerned, the most critical thing is a belief in magic, a belief in no limitation, a belief in anything is possible right here, right now. And I do believe that for everybody, that no matter who you are, where you are, if you can activate that part of yourself, which we call divine mind, that part of yourself which I call unlimited mind, beyond the parameters of normal thinking, that part that is activated when we hear the stories about the mother who suddenly has to save her child and lifts an enormous car, that part where when we are in an emergency we can do superhuman things, that part which they say is 95% of the inactive part of our brains, if we can connect with that part and cultivate operating from that space, because that space is a resonance, it's a frequency, and really I'm talking about changing channels on the television. Really, we're used to operating on a certain channel, and it is as simple as changing channels to operate in another frequency. It's not that you have to do a course and learn all these things and study. It's simply, I always say, it's just a jump to the left, and it literally is. It's just simply shifting, slight focus, just like that. And what I do in my courses is provide the tools and the processes to form that shift.